Hi Tom. This is my diagram that I've drawn for the America play by Susan Laurie Parks as our analysis assignment, and I will be writing out a 2-page paper, or one and 2-page, about why I did this and how it works. But I kind of wanted to use this because I used 2 different pieces of paper for a reason, and I'd rather show you than explain it. And so, yeah, here we go. So the America play. I think it starts out, pretend like that isn't there. So I start out here. I wanted to draw it sort of like a game board. I had Candyland in mind, but it could be any old type of game. Because I feel like the first act is very, I'm hesitant to say linear, but it definitely has bits and pieces of events. Like we start here with the introduction. Here could be the lesser man, greater man speech in the beginning. It's all a speech, but you know what I mean. Here could be moving on to more things about him, learning about the digger, and kind of how it all fits together. I don't think that there's much wiggle room, which is why there is a curve here. And that allows for sort of a different interpretation. But for the most part, I wanted it to be very linear and have a direct sort of motion to it. Here, I'm sorry for the cars in the background, my window's open. Here, this circle, so from like here down, is Act 2. And so I wanted to point out, here you have Echoes, Lucy in Brazil, Lincoln, and Digging. And then in the center, we have the Founding Father with his little top hat and his little shovel, and if I had a yellow marker, I'd give him a little yellow beard. But I think the second act is very different from the first in that it is written in a linear way because it is a book, it is a play, but all of these exist in tandem. I think it's one big ball of plot of what we're talking about. And I think Lucy in Brazil are important to Echoes, and Echoes are important to Lucy in Brazil. Lincoln also is pertinent to Lucy in Brazil, but so is Digging, and they all sort of coexist. And so in doing this, this big circle also represents, here, we'll do this, represents the great whole of history. Which, of course, is the common thread through, like they're all common threads through each other, but this is the biggest, what I would consider the biggest thread between all of them. And there's no reason why I did it on clear paper versus lined paper, but I did do it on 2 different pieces of paper for the reason. And I think it's because here you can take it as it is, as one whole sheet of paper, you can ignore the thing in the middle, and you'll still have a pretty whole play. It's understandable. Lucy in Brazil still can't get on without Digging, Digging can't get on without Lincoln, Lincoln can't get on without Echoes, so on and so forth, with all of the different titles between here. But then you can also recognize that it's a whole, and you have to be jumping over it or going through it to add a little bit more meaning to all of these, but you could have it either way. And then finally, I wanted to put the Founding Father in here because he is also the common thread. He is, I think, a lot of what is lost to history and what he represents. And I like that you can take it off and it's its own entity. You could pretend that there's something in the middle of it and it's its own entity. Or you can put our main man, the Founding Father, in there. So yeah, thanks for listening.